Hey folks, Everyone Loves Pirates here, and today I'm going to show you Slay the Spire. You may have already seen this game, it seems to be somewhat popular at least, maybe even very popular. I honestly thought this would be a game I would hate. It's a deck building game, and when it comes to tabletop games at least, playing with some buddies back in the day, I hated Dominion. I know that'll make a lot of people very sad, and maybe you'll turn off the video right away, and that's fine. But I don't know. It is my personal experience with it. Maybe, just how I was introduced to it in the setting, the fact that we played a different expansion every time, so I never got to know the cards. You had my buddies, like one of them in particular, just setting up this crazy, hand that would just combo forever, and it was just ridiculous, and I was way out of my element. However, this is not just a deck building game. It's also kind of a roguelike dungeon crawler. Light. Rogue light. Essentially, you can kind of choose the path you're going on. You can kind of choose what square you're going to hit and have a decent idea of what you might be facing there. And then you get cards and abilities and stuff, and you build up your deck and hopefully make it through basically 3 levels and kill the main bosses at the end. This is in early access. As you can see at the bottom, it's telling you what the date is. It's also quite late at night, and my brain isn't good during the day even, but it might actually be better at night. So I know that's a long intro, but I want to show you the game because I've been playing it quite a bit, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it fast enough not to annoy people. I'm going to do my best, but I also just don't want to make stupid mistakes because that makes me unhappy personally, just to know I could have done better. I could have maybe won if I didn't rush. So I have most of the stuff unlocked for the Ironclad, only 2 unlocks remaining. It's probably the best one to show off, and I'm going to go and hopefully make it to the end. If not, I'll give you a decent idea of what this game looks like, and you'll get a chance to let me know, feedback-wise, whether you'd like to see some more of it. Okay, so this big bowling ball with teeth wants to give us a chance to change our starting setup because we made it to at least the first boss on the first level. We can upgrade one of our starting cards, and this is kind of what we start with this character. Right now there's only 2 characters, but they're working on more again, early access. Your basic strikes, your defense, and then a bash that applies vulnerable that helps you be stronger later. We can attain a random relic. Relics are up here and just kind of give you ongoing abilities and things that help you. The one we start with in this character is at the end of combat we heal 6 HP, which is really kind of nice. And we can just remove 2 cards. Obviously a small deck can be really good if you're trying to cycle through cards quickly and get to the cards you want. And then we can lose our starting relic, completely changing the way this character plays, and just get a random relic that we can try to build our hand around. This is a lot of fun, but it tends to either be really good or it tends to just cripple your run and immediately dies. I'm just going to take a common relic. Let's see what we get. Alright, so with Omamori, the next 2 curses we might get, which are basically anti-relics, but they're cards, we won't get them. So that actually helps us out probably a bit. We can make some more risks, take advantage of some risk-reward situations. And this is the map. I'm trying to see, kind of based on the types of tiles or spots I want to hit, which way to go. So these squares are just normal enemies. This is a shop, kind of money bag looking thing. The question marks can be random. They can be a fight, or they can be some kind of choice that you can make. We have places where we can heal or upgrade a card or potentially do other things depending on what we've unlocked during the run. These are elites. They're much harder to kill, but if you manage to, you'll get a relic and probably some better card drops from them. And then these are just chests, which will give you something, most often a relic. Do they always give you a relic? I'm not quite too sure. But this kind of path here looks pretty good. So I think we'll start over here. And as you can see, we have our cards. We choose them and drag them to apply them. It tells you how much damage it's going to do. If anything modifies this, it'll change on the card as you go to hit the person. I am just going to save myself some damage by just striking this guy and then applying a strike to him as well. So 2 killed him. He's going to debuff us with frailty, so basically our blocks aren't going to work as well. They used to be 5, now we're only getting 3. It would have been great if I could have bashed him and put vulnerable on him. Vulnerable It's a hard thing to say. I don't have to use all my energy. There's no reason to block that time. Hopefully I won't make stupid mistakes in the future like that. But then 2 strikes kills him. We get gold. We get potions. There's 5 different types, maybe? And they do stuff, and you can apply them whenever you want to, but they're only going to be good for that fight. So, we do have the ability to apply vulnerable, so it's such a hard word to say, vulnerable. So we can use dropkick, which allows us to get more energy and draw a card, which is pretty cool. We don't really have great ways of getting block yet, so body slam isn't helpful. We can grab it now and hope to get a lot of block in the future, but... And then this one allows us to exhaust. I'm not going to explain everything every time, but to give you an idea, there are deck builds that allow, like if you exhaust, that can be very powerful based on your relics or other cards that you have. Right now, it's just a slightly better block for us, but it does thin out our hand if we were trying to get something. I'm going to take dropkick. That'll be much more useful early on. So we get to play so much more, and here's an example of that. So, let's see. These guys are going to apply 6 block once they take 1 attack. And I don't think I'll be able to kill him anyways, because 8 would take this guy down to 7. The vulnerable will make this worth 9, but I have to get through 5 as well for a total of 12. But the drop kick would. So if we do... Drop kick does 5... We'd probably get the 17 guy. I don't want to really do the math because I suck at math. This guy's doing less damage anyways. So now that this guy over here is vulnerable, we can use this, get another card, and more importantly, get another energy so that we can kill him off. And we're going to take 5 damage. We do heal for 6 though, so no big whoop there. So instead of just trying to fight through his block, which will just disappear at the end of this turn, I'm going to defend, and I don't know, just for fun, I guess. Didn't do any more damage. Could have double defended instead. And then we can just bash, strike. See, he didn't have any more block to apply to himself. Oh ho. I'm admit, with this character, I've had the most success with high strength builds. So demon form costs 3, which is going to be pretty much all your energy on most turns until we buff this character up a bit. But at the start of each turn, we get 2 strength. The 2 strength is just applied to any attack you make. So instead of doing like, if this was just a base 6, it would do 8 if we had 2 strength. Perfected Strike is really good in the early game. It's only cost you 2. And also, all these cards can be upgraded. I just can't show you the upgrade from here. But I can show you some of these. So like Bash, if we upgraded it, it would apply 3 vulnerable and do 10 damage. I should have picked one that didn't have vulnerable in it. The drop kick, if we upgraded it, would give us 8 damage. Not a huge upgrade on that one. Some of the upgrades are not only good, they're almost, you have to upgrade the card. Either it's stupid not to, it's just too strong, or it's just too weak. This upgrades to make it just cost 2, I believe. I don't think the strength goes up. But Perfected Strike does 6 damage and additional 2 damage for every one of our cards containing Strike. And that upgrades to 3 damage, I think, for all of them. And higher base damage, I think, too. So we have 5 with Strike in it. Plus, this has Strike in it. So that'd be 6, which would be 12, which would be 18 total. And it would give us one pretty decent big swing card at the beginning. Oh, but Demon Form is so good. If I pass this now, I'll want it later. I'm going to take it now. Maybe we can buy a card that'll help us build with that. Okay, so something like Whirlwind, which takes all of your energy and applies it 5 damage that many times. So if we had 2 strength, it would be 7 damage that many times, because it applies to every single attack that you make, not just to the card. See, if we had ways to exhaust stuff like the card we were offered twice, I think we could gain energy by exhausting that card. Rampage is kind of cool, especially in a small deck, because it allows you to, it just buffs itself every single time you play it, so it starts getting really strong if you can cycle it a lot. We can't take any relics, unfortunately. Some of these are quite good. We can remove a card if we want. We can't remove a card and take Whirlwind. And knowing what's coming up just at some point, but probably even in this on this level, we're going to need to do damage to multiple multiple enemies at once, so I am going to take the Whirlwind. I could take a potion as well. Do I get any more shops coming up on my path? Because I think I'm going to go probably that way. Yeah, I do have another shop coming up. And this can be good sometimes, the money to use on the question mark spaces. So I'm going to save my money. If I die before I get to the boss, well, you'll probably never see this video. But it'd be pretty rare, I think, unless I really screw up somehow. Well, we can remove a card, transform a card, or upgrade a card. Now we can look at Demon Form and see... Oops. Oh, no, it goes to 3 strength. These cards changed, and I've actually played over a couple updates now. So it's still going to cost a lot. We need a way to get more energy in our hand. This won't do it if we upgraded it. Whirlwind actually would be great to upgrade. I'm probably going to do that. We could transform one of the strikes because we don't need it anymore, or just remove one. I'm going to upgrade the Whirlwind. That's 3 more per energy, and it scales, I think, pretty well. Okay, this was a question mark, right? Yeah, so we ended up getting a fight at the question mark, which happens. This guy's going to keep on buffing himself with strength every time, so we really want to apply as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can. And that's a pretty good opening for it. Okay, so Whirlwind now is going to do 24, which is almost enough. If we'd had Bash last time, we probably would have been able to kill him or get really close. Yeah, we would have definitely been able to kill him with the vulnerability. I gotta just use Whirlwind. It's too strong not to. So we're going to take 6, but we'll heal for 6 at the end of this. Hopefully we can kill him before he does anything more to us. That'll do it right there. Excellent. Metallicize is pretty cool. You get 3 block at the end of your turn. So it doesn't really help you for cards that play off of your block while you're playing, but it does help give you a little more block before the enemy attacks. Applying weak and vulnerable could be good for us as well, especially with drop kick. Anything else that's going to apply vulnerable. This upgrades to 2 weak and 2 vulnerable. I'm eventually get to where I can say that, or we can do an HP loss kind of thing where we lose HP but it deals damage. I'm going to take the uppercut. I think it's best to try to stay on a theme. Oh. So this is probably my least favorite elite to hit. Probably everybody's in the first section, first floor. And that's why, one of the reasons why we got the Whirlwind. We're going to take 8 damage unless we block. It would have been great if I could have upgraded that. We could bash, drop kick, and then defend. I would love to get Demon Form out. But it's important to work on these pretty quickly. Actually, we can't do that because they have an artifact, and it's going to keep the first status from applying to them. So the vulnerability will not apply. In that case, I'm going to use Demon Form. So beginning next turn, we will have 2 strength. Yeah, so these guys, if they're not attacking, they're putting those dazed in the deck. The dazed exhaust when they're not played from a hand. But they're cards you draw instead of the cards you want to draw then, and they do nothing for you. This is going to be a bit rough, and that's why you have to run these guys down pretty quick. But we do have 2 more strengths, so I'm just going to start working on the lowest dude. Take some damage here. This is going to be a nasty fight. It almost always is. Okay, so now we have 4, and this is going to wipe out the only guy that's attacking us, and we pretty much have to play it. There'd be no reason to play a strike. It does less damage. This does it to everyone, so that's why you take that card, or at least something that does AoE damage. Area of effect. That affects all the guys that you want to kill. That's a bit of an overkill, but that's okay, because we have enough energy to do both. All right, so War Paint, when we pick this up, it's going to upgrade 2 random skills. Skills being our defense, which I like to call blocks, apparently, and that's it. So if we take it now, we're definitely going to get 2 upgraded defense. However, they kind of, I've watched a couple people play this game. They just kind of go through this really quick and just pick in order. But we can add, well, there were no skills here. But if there had been skills here, we could have picked a skill, added it, and then had a chance for it to get a free upgrade. We got a power at the end of your turn for each attack. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. For each attack played, I think that only affects the card, not each time that the character attacks, but I'm not quite sure about that. And then we have Clothesline, which applies weak, which does not work with our drop kick. We don't get a lot of block, and that's probably something I need to start looking for. This upgrades to be worth 0, and anything that's 0 can be quite nice, especially with some of the big cards we have in our hand. I don't know if I really want another big card. Now I'll get my upgrades on the defense because there's no reason not to. We'll go to a place where we can heal for 30% of our max HP, which would kind of waste some of that, or smith something, which will upgrade it. I should probably upgrade Fire Breathing or Demon Form. That's just 8 damage. 3 vulnerable is nice. Hangs around longer so we can get it with Dropkick. 2 weak and 2 vulnerable is also nice. Or free. See, he's only free once. Of course, none of these also drop down how much stuff costs, so we don't really have much in the way of energy, so I'm going to try to conserve energy, get our powers out. No reason to take something if you can never play it. Come on. Oh, it's been a great time for our Whirlwind. Probably ought to defend. We're going to take a decent amount of damage here. I don't really want to wait for Demon Form to make the difference, I don't think. So spread it across them just so those 2 blocks go away for next turn. Okay, so we can bash that guy out of existence. It would be nice to get the one guy that's attacking us, but the most we can do is going to be 8 and 9 is 17, and he has more than that with his block. He has 19. I could defend. I'm going to be weakened next turn, I believe, is what he's going to do, which means I'm going to do 25% less damage. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Oh, I forgot. We played the power, so I can mouse over here. So for each attack we played, 1 damage, and that was enough to wipe him out. I did the right thing by accident. This should just kill him. Why bother mathing when you don't have to? Get another chance at Perfected Strike. Oh man, I really need block. Better block. That just kills all of our block. 1 time big block, I guess. Okay, I still have all those strikes, so let's take it. Or Chalcom at the beginning, or sorry, at the end of your turn, if you haven't played a block card, if you don't have any block, because there's other ways to get block, then you'll get 6 block, which is quite nice, especially with the way we're playing right now, with a pretty heavy deck when it comes to attacks. I want to go up the left because of the question marks and all the places where I can upgrade stuff. Okay, so additional 3 damage for each one is pretty good. Take that. Don't really need the Demon Form yet. I just kind of didn't want to let it pass me by, was the big thing. Probably not going to get to Panache. Free heal with the exhaust. We don't really get anything that works well with the exhaust. Flex is 2 strength, but you lose it at the end of your turn. Turns to 4 when you upgrade it, which is kind of neat. But you just have to get it at the right time. We get another Fire Breathing and make it free. Wouldn't be horrible. We can't afford any of those. Get another Uppercut and really go kind of whole hog on the status stuff. Or remove something. 25. We couldn't get Uppercut and this, I don't think. 70-70 is one for... Yeah, no. We also couldn't get that and that. We could get 65 and 65 is 130, and 6 is 136. We could get fire breathing and uppercut. I really want to start removing just some regular strikes, I think, though. None of them are upgraded. We have other things that do more that we want to make sure we get. I'm going to take... Okay, I'm just going to do that. And in that case, I think we upgrade fire breathing. Gives us more AoE, which is something I tend to not get enough of, and then suffer for it later. Okay. This is a way for us to get rid of a card. They want us to give them something. If we give them something nice, we'll get healing. If we give them something amazing, like probably the demon form, we'll get max HP and healing. Honestly, the only thing I want to get rid of is a strike. They can have it. They're a little disappointed, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so we got one more fight before we go into our last heal. Definitely play our fire breathing. We can kill him with the perfected strike and not get the 21 and 6 is 27. We couldn't get him. They're both going to give me status effects. I think they're the same one, unless he's giving me a card. I'm going to try to be more efficient and do this. If we get the whirlwind... We did not, but we're going to do 2 damage for each attack we apply. We do this time. Oh, well, he's going to die if we play 1 attack. So, and this card on him. Sorry. What was the other thing besides defend? I might have had one more card I could have played there. Whirlwind is 6 times 3 is only 18, but he dies before he gets a chance. Oh, no, it is only 1 per card, not per attack. Well, that's too bad. Our strike did more damage, I think. Okay. We don't have any status or curses, so there's really no reason to take Immolate unless we just want to get rid of cards while we're playing. This is more AoE. This allows us to create copies of cards, attacks, or powers. We do have free powers, which would be kind of cool, but it's probably not worth it. What are we fighting? This guy is going to go into a defensive stand after we do a certain amount of damage to him each time. So, AoE doesn't really help much. Applying vulnerable to him would. Dual wielding an attack could be quite powerful against him, though. Like a whirlwind or with our perfected strike. Just kind of has to line up right. We have some pretty big stuff that we might want copies of, and we got some free stuff we might want copies of. I don't think that'll hurt us too much. We can always just skip and not take any cards, but... I don't think we need to heal. This gives us 2 copies of something. But I'm going to want the stats we applied to him to the debuffs to hang around longer. Of course, getting Demon Form out early is going to help quite a bit, too. I really wish a lot of these were upgraded. That one's probably the better one. Weak will just keep him from doing as much damage to us. Be nice to kind of keep that going if possible. Demon Form. Okay. I gotta play quicker than I normally do, but I think we'll at least get through this first floor, which is a great place for me to just end the episode. And, well, I guess either way. And that way it won't be a super long video. The last time I played it, it has a counter up there at times. It took me an hour and 45 minutes. But I had things that allowed me to look at the order of my deck, and I had a ton of draw and stuff, so I was trying to really micromanage it. All right, let's get Fire Breathing out there. I have nothing here I really want to dual wield. He eventually does big stuff. So here's the counter. If I do 30 damage to him this time around, he'll go into defensive mode and stop whatever big thing he's going to do. So I definitely want to get this vulnerability on him. Can really just put as much damage on him as I can. There's my demon form. So it'd be great if I could stop that 32 damage from coming in. 21 is just about perfect. It's one more than perfect. So in that case, I want to play the strike because he's going to add, well, you'll see right now. He adds on more armor after that attack that makes him change. So you want to do as much damage as you can on the final hit to make sure that it doesn't apply to that armor. Okay. Do a little extra stuff to him. Now he has... Come on, mouse. Oh, it's already there. He has Sharp Hide. So anytime we attack him, we're going to take 3 damage. And especially with things like Whirlwind, you can put tons of damage on yourself without even really noticing it because you play too quick. It's probably worth it to get this in. I can defend first and take a little less. We are going to get 6 free block if we manage to run through our defense that we put on now, which we won't be able to do if we put any on. And by making him weak, he's not going to do any damage to us, so I think that's good. So he's going to do 6 now instead because he's weak. There's no reason to strike here and take more damage. No reason to defend. He is vulnerable, though. 3 for 9. No. Played a little safe for now. He's going to do a bigger attack this time. So he's still 1 weak and 1 vulnerable. I could do it again and make sure that it stays till next time. That's probably a really good idea. I can drop kick for free, though it will hurt me. So if I defend, uppercut, drop kick, I'll draw a card and maybe get something I want to play, which I can't really think of what that would be. But this would work through all the defense we put up. It'll let us get some damage on him, so why not? So let's just drop kick first, I guess. We got our Whirlwind, which I would have rather had for next time. So that's kind of the downside to doing that. Oh, right. Okay. So we're good. No, we're not. I thought I was going to get to play 1 more. Darn it. So now we get less of everything. I do that quite a bit, actually. Probably with cards that upgrade to be free in my head. But I think Dropkick did once. Okay. We could dual wield an upgraded uppercut to get another one in our hand. But I think I just need to put as much damage as I can on him, and I'll take that -6. Okay, so now doing 8 will get him to transform. This might be a great time to drop down demon form. Because next time... how much armor does he put on? Was it 12? It'd mean we'd have to do 20. We do have a lot of our big stuff, but we're going to draw from scratch again. Yeah. Or we could just make him transfer now. If I could get demon form while he's in his stupid curled up, that would be the time to have it. Bash would make him curl up. Let's just put as much damage on him as I... Ah! Crap, he's vulnerable. I didn't take that into effect. Well, at least this will give me another 11. The card updates when you drag it over, but not while it's just sitting in your hand, so... I don't think we really need to worry about this. We got plenty of health. I'll take a little bit of damage. I think I'll just rush him down. If I can block a bit here, I probably will. 16's a bit much. It'll be 10 when he's done. He's not vulnerable anymore, so dropkick doesn't help me. I'm just going to defend, and take 3 damage. Then, see, if we'd had Demon Form at the beginning, we would probably kill him with just an uppercut. Yeah. Just gotta put the damage on. I could use one of my dexterity potions, so I'd be getting better block with block cards I play, but I'm not really playing a lot of them. Dropkick has no reason not to use it this time, even though I probably already had the ability to kill him. Excellent. Strength potion. I'll discard one of the decks. This one just does 10 damage to all enemies. It's good to keep around for AoE. Alright, so here's Reaper. It allows us to heal while we're fighting. Any unblocked damage, we get 4 heal for that. Or basically we get heal for whatever unblocked damage we do with this card. And it attacks all enemies. So if we upgrade our strength, we'll get more healing because there's more damage. If we upgrade this, it also... how does it go? It goes up to 6 or something? Unfortunately, you can't like right-click and see the upgraded forms of these while you're trying to choose them, which is probably just an oversight. If we want to be running on low HP a lot, we can get basically, if we're at 50% of our HP, or if we can get our max HP up more, then we'll get an extra energy per turn. Feed is the way you can get max HP up by killing somebody with it. Not a minion, though, for people that, bad guys that spawn enemies. So with this deck, since I don't really have a lot of block, and we're kind of running with that, it's really either of these two. I mean, I'd be able to use Berserk more, but I have no way of not dying to it. So, I think I'm going to use Reaper, because it works really well with Strength. And then we get to choose a Relic. The Black Star now Elites will drop 2 Relics. We'll probably only hit like 4 or 5 more elites at the absolute max. So that's 4 or 5 extra relics. Relics are really powerful. Some aren't, though. We could get rid of our ability to use potions and instead get an extra energy each turn. Potions can save your butt. They really can. But I often take Sozu when it's given to me. This just gives us one more card to choose from on card reward screens. I don't get the best luck for choice most of the time, so it's really between these two. I think for fun, I'll try to hit as many elites as possible next time and get us more relics, because relics can really change things up a lot and really, I think, show a lot of the fun in the game. I like things that are a little more random. There's some really cool random stuff in this game, too. You can do pretty much random deck builds, especially with specific relics like Sneko's Eye, which just randomizes the cost of every card in your deck as you draw it. But for now, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if it's something you might want to see more of. I'll probably put at least until I die, so hopefully 3 episodes to get us to the end and maybe win, quote-unquote. I know this isn't typical for the types of things on the channel, but what really appeals in this game to me is the strategy aspect. It requires a lot of brain power and thought, which isn't always my forte lately, but it's kind of cool just to sit down and just think something through, especially when you're sure you're dead, and then you're like, oh wait, I have this potion, or oh no, if I play this in this order, it's going to save me by 1, or whatever it happens to be. And of course, on the first floor, you don't get a lot of those kind of options. But as we continue on, we're going to get different cards and more relics that'll really kind of start showing you what I think is really the strength of this kind of game. So thanks for watching, and I will see you hopefully in the next video. Bye-bye.